Konnichiwa, this is the Shogun's theme, and this is some initial thoughts on the game Let's Go to Japan. AEG Games, Josh Wood, 1 to 4 players. Got the very cool team of planning a trip to Japan, basically Monday through Saturday, going between Tokyo and Kyoto. You're planning a trip, you can do a one-player game, solo, against the quote-unquote travel agent. You can play it up to 4. We try to plan out your trip. We've done some content on the various cards and things that are here. So I want to give you my initial thoughts on playing 2 players and fooling around with it on solo as well. And again, I really like the theme because I just planned my 5th trip to Japan. I was there a few weeks ago, and I did spend most of my time in Tokyo and Kyoto. So I just went through it. I just was back there. I had to plan it on my own. So it's a cool theme. Apparently the backstory here with Josh Wood is he was supposed to go during the pandemical and could not go during the pandemical, obviously. So he turned his notes for the trip into a game. So my initial thoughts here, I got to say I'm slightly disappointed. Again, I really like this theme, but first of all, the instruction book, where it does actually explain things, it does do a good job. But there actually, I felt, were things that were left out, including just some of the pictures of the different components. But I felt that the rule book itself did not really cover everything as much as it should have. Where it does cover things, I felt it did a good job. Some of the illustrations I thought were good, but I found that the rule book was just kind of lacking some things. It gave some good examples, and when I went to that website, I don't particularly like going to, but there's a lot of questions on the forums about rules for this game. And again, this is a game where the mechanics itself is a fairly lighter game. And I guess the theme I'm going to have here about this game is it just seems to be an overcomplicated, simpler game. So where they do have examples, they do a decent job, but I just felt that there was just too much left out, or at least noticeably enough stuff left out. And even in the solo rules here, it could have been, a little better explained. So again, I don't know why this rule book, to be honest with you, it needed more. I don't know how it made it to the press with some of the things that I felt that needed to be there. And other thing that kind of stuck out to me, and again, I enjoy this theme. The basic mechanics of the game, I liked what you were trying to do. Now, I was excited at the number of cards that you had. I was excited, and in one of my other videos I went over some of the places it showed you. What I didn't know was that a lot of these cards, it repeats, so that there are multiple cards going to the same place. So I think in both Tokyo and Kyoto, they could have had some more places. And again, for the number of cards there are for each place, instead of repeating, I understand that in the theme, 2 people, again in this case 2 players, or 4 players, whatever count you're at. I understand everyone's planning their own trip, so everyone, there's some places everyone's going to want to go to Shibuya, everyone's going to want to go to Nijo Castle. So I understand why some of those things repeat, but I think there was a lost opportunity to get some more things there. And also, again, kind of being limited to Tokyo and Kyoto, maybe you could have brought in some of those nearby places. Now, I understand there are 2 small mini expansions that maybe let you go to some of these, side excursions. But I think, again, with this number of cards, I would have liked to have seen some more places, some things, again, right outside Kyoto, you could have put some places, right outside Tokyo. And again, maybe that expansion has that. But again, this is a smaller game. It's not a heavy game. So I'm not a big fan of expansions on a game that's supposed to be more on the lighter side. I think it's like you could have put some of those cards in there. Why not have a Nico card, a Kamakura card, a Himeji card? So I would have liked to have seen some more places in the cards. The biggest issue, and again, it kind of goes back to the rule book here. The biggest issue I have here, and the thing that I don't know how it made it past play testing and things like that, is that the scoring at the end of this is way overcomplicated. You got to score each day. You got to score the mood. Then there are penalties for trains when you go from Kyoto to Tokyo. And again, riding trains in Japan is one of the best things. So I do like that in some cases using the train is a positive, but in other cases it's a negative. There's nothing negative about riding the Shinkansen in Japan. I don't know how that ends up being something that counts against you, but the scoring process in this game is ridiculous and easy to make errors. Even on some of the playthroughs that I watched, people were messing things up with the scoring. So again, you're taking a game that's, I don't want to say a light game. It's not Ticket to Ride light. It's not Splenda light. But it's on the lighter side. And you have a scoring element here at the end of the game. And you can just see from this pad here, you got to score every day. You got to score your mood. You got to score, again, there's your shrines or your shopping, your, unique adventures. The scoring was just really overcomplicated. It takes a while to do. And there are so many places to mess up and things you forgot to count. So it really takes away from the game. I don't know who played this game and was like, yeah, I'm okay with this scoring. So in the end, again, these are some initial thoughts. I want to get some more playing. I want to solo it some more. I want to, maybe try it at a higher player count to see how it works. Maybe that will work with, having more of those cards. But just initially, my initial thoughts, for what the game is, it's just they over complicated it. Again, there's things left out in the rule book or just not really explained in the rule book well. And then this end game scoring between having to score the days and, moving these and how many you're at. So again, at the end of the game, you're going to be moving these. And then when you're trying to do your kind of end game, your, the highlight of your day kind of thing, looking to see how many you get. It's just a lot. It's just, for the weight of this game, in my opinion, the scoring was just too much. Then this mood tracker, every time it goes to here, you got to go here. Every time it goes to here, you got to go. There's just a lot. And it took away from some of the fun. So again, maybe as you play this more, maybe that scoring, you get a little more used to it. But again, on some initial thoughts, I would have liked to have seen more places. I would have liked a rule book that covered more things, more clear. And again, this endgame scoring just really kind of ruined it. So great theme. Love the idea of Let's Go to Japan. I really wanted this game for a while. I really tried to hold out for the Kickstarter edition. Maybe that Kickstarter came with those expansions, with those cards I would have liked to have seen. Some deluxe components. I really try to wait out, but I really, especially after coming back from Japan, I wanted to play this game, and I enjoyed. I enjoyed drawing some of the cards of places I went to. I enjoyed reading the flavor text to it, but ultimately, I got to say, I'm a little disappointed in not realizing that the cards don't cover as many places I would have liked, and this rule book needs work, and just the end game scoring was just a bit too much. I'm going to revisit. I'm going to play this some more. I'm going to revisit it. I would like to be able to change what I'm saying here. Maybe it does come with more practice of doing the scoring. Maybe those little expansions make enough of a difference. There's some sort of passport expansion and then those side excursions expansion. Maybe those two are going to make the difference. But as of now, initial thoughts, Love the theme, but a little disappointed with the game. This is the Shogun Steve now.